So we have our Amplify data back, and we're supposed to be helping students with whatever they may be in need of to prepare for the middle of year benchmark Acadians test. We're also supposed to be checking in with them periodically and giving them practice versions of the test to progress monitor and see how they're doing. I'm going to talk more about this at the Professional Development Day, but I wanted to create this video in case anyone wanted to get started with their progress monitoring. So to do this, you'll go to mclass.amplify.com/assessment. You'll log in. I'm going to change class. It'll bring you automatically to your classes, but I'm going to change class and go to a demo class, and you might want to do the same thing the first time you do it just to practice. I'm going to come down here to demo, Barry, and I'll sync. And it's synced, so I'm going to click next. I'll click one of these students. I'll click an upper grade student. The benchmark is what they do when they go with the aides to do their official testing at the beginning of year, middle of year, and end of year. Progress monitoring is this check-in that they do with a teacher or with an aide who's been trained to do it. So I'll click progress monitoring. Then I'm going to choose the test that I'm going to give them. FSF, PSF, NWF are all assessments that they give in the younger grades. DAYS is the test that you gave on paper, and it's advised that you only progress monitor for DAYS if everything else is good. The DORF, or you'll hear it said ORF because it's technically no longer DIBELS, is the reading fluency test, and that's really the one that 4 through 6 will be progress monitoring. So I'll choose that test and click assess. So the student's 5th grade, so it automatically pulls up 5th grade, but you could progress monitor with younger grade materials if you needed to. And you'll also see it has all these different forms that they can read for you. So we'll start with Form 1. Choosing this is choosing the reading passage that they'll read to you. You'll see it on your computer screen, and I have a binder with paper versions in it that I'll put in your box for the students to look at. Click OK. This page just reminds you of what you can say and can't say. When you see this little face pop up, you read what it says. It gives the prompts for the student, and then it brings you to the passage. You tell the student, ready, begin, and as soon as they say the first word, you can either indicate green, they got it correct, or red, they got it incorrect, and it will start the timer as soon as you hit that button. So we'll start the timer. They're reading along and say that they missed a word. You can click it to show that they got it wrong. If they came back and corrected it, you can click it again, and it'll mark it as a self-correct. If you clicked it on accident and don't want it marked at all, you can click it a 3rd time, and it goes back to being just regular. If there's a proper noun, like Germany, if they sound it out phonetically, even if it's wrong, you can count it as correct. They get 1 minute to read, and they have to read every word within 3 seconds. You'll see this 3-second timer timing up here. If they take longer than that, you can tell them the word, mark it wrong, and the student can move on. You'll notice that here at the end, the whole screen will turn yellow at 5 seconds to warn you that the time is almost up and you should be watching for what their last word is. So we'll say that was the last word. You can click and hold down. This bracket will appear to indicate that was the last word they read. And if they want to finish the sentence they were reading, you can still click the last word they read and let them finish their sentence. You click done. And then this is just giving you reminders for the next part of the assessment, which is them telling you about what they read. Tell me about what you read. When you click start here, it'll again begin the timer. They get 1 minute to tell you about what they read. When you click start, you'll be clicking these buttons to indicate every word that they say that relates to the story. The story I read is about Mount Kilimanjaro. You'll notice that they're spread out like this. It's in case you're usually on a tablet, you can just scroll across for whole sentences to go faster. If they talk about something that's not related to the text, don't count those words. And if they stall at any point for 3 seconds, you click this 3-second pause saying you waited 3 seconds, and then you prompt them with, "Can you tell me anything more about the story?" At this point, they get 5 seconds to tell you something more, and at any point after this, if they pause for 5 seconds, then you can click the 5-second pause button and they're done. Then you rate their response. It's just on the number of details that they gave, and if they're in a meaningful sequence, and they can get the 4 if they also seem to capture a main idea in what they were telling you. So you're just listening that they got at least 3 details, and if they're in order how they came on the text, they can get the 3. Main idea gets them the 4. So give them a rating and click done. It'll give you their score. If you made a mistake and you don't like what happened, you can click this review and choose that it's either valid or probe not valid. The probe not valid will get rid of it for you. And that is progress monitoring.